All right, girls. I'd like everyone to start by just writing down or making a note of or dropping in the chat. Let's talk about one win from last week and something that we are working on this week. Awesome. Okay, cool. It sounds like everyone's pretty good. If I just kind of ramble along, please interrupt. All right, girls. What's one win from last week? Are we hitting workouts? Are we hitting steps? Has nutrition been on point for you? Let's recognize what we're doing well and congratulate ourselves on the effort that we're making. And let's also pick a focus for this week of something that we want to work towards. Today was so nice. I got so many steps in, but I know we're calling for rain for the rest of the week. I'm going to stick with my step goal. I'm going to use my walking pad inside, head to the gym, maybe get my steps in at the mall. I don't know. But let's pick a goal for next week and focus in on that, and I'll mention it again later. Awesome. Lots of wins coming in. Awesome. All right, girls, one thing that I do want to touch on tonight is muscle growth. I've heard from a lot of people, summer's coming up and I really want to dial in and I want to look toned. And I hear this all the time, toned, right? And if you're somebody who's been consistently trying to be in a deficit and lose weight and lose weight and show off that muscle, we might have lost some muscle over this progress, right? Of just being in a deficit, not giving our bodies the calories to grow muscles. So, looking forward at your year, reflecting on what you've been doing for the past year, if you are wanting to build, we might need to increase those calories a little bit and change up those macros. If you want to have that tone shape, we want to go into not, the quote unquote bulks and cuts. Doesn't need to be extreme things, but we do want to work on bringing those calories up at some point throughout our year so that we have some room to bring them back down when we want to go into that deficit without coming down into these extreme 1,200, 1,000 calories to see results, right? We know what that's going to do to our metabolism and our long-term results and our hormones and all those fun things. So, if you're somebody who's been in a deficit for a long time, you want to see some results by summer, you haven't really been seeing big results, this might be a time for us to go into a bit of a growth phase with our food and in the gym before summer hits. And we can plan that out together. So, just something to think about. If you are wanting to grow the most muscle, we want to train with intention. I want to make sure that everybody is feeling the right muscle groups in all of their exercises. Everyone feels comfortable with setup and using the equipment that they have programmed in their workouts. Working on the progressive overload, making sure that we're tracking to increase in reps and weights as we progress through our programs. And if we're kind of getting to a stage where we're plateauing, looking at other options. It doesn't always have to be an increase in weight, but we might want to look at the tempo, slowing down, making sure our form is very, very good. So please send me videos of any exercises you guys are doing that you're like, is this right? Is my knee in the right place? Record yourself from the side, you know, easy to stand your phone up against your water bottle, like discreetly if you're at the gym, or just go back home and set your phone up at home and then record yourself doing that exercise. Send it over to me so we can really get these forms down and then start working on the progressive overload, training with intention, tempo. All those other things come after the form. Cool. Go ahead and drop in the chat if there's any exercises that anyone is thinking, like, I wish I had more instruction on this. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. I know a lot of you have struggled with RDLs. Those are one that people get caught up on a lot. If there's something that you guys want me to make, like a video on to share with everyone on a specific exercise, please let me know what those are and I'll keep working on those.
Kristie,
Perfect. Yeah.
do you remember there was that one that I told you about that I could only make it up to 10 reps, but it's like you said it was a tricky one. What was that one called
The
again?
rear delt flies.
Yes, yeah. Maybe
Yes.
something like that.
Totally. Yes, because I have good tips for that. So I'll record that the next time that I'm in the gym tomorrow, and I'll get you guys a video and an explanation on the rear delt flies because I know that's a hard one. And even just kind of knowing where am I supposed to be feeling these? What am I supposed to be hitting, right? Like knowing your rear delts. So I don't know if all of you have had a chance to explore through your on-demand resources that are in the app now too, but you've got like nutrients, you've got workout stuff, you've got mindset stuff. They're all in different folders there and you can access things like muscle groups. So you can actually see like, okay, it says lat pull downs, but where is my lat? Go ahead and open that up and then see where your lat is and try to feel those lat pull downs where that area is highlighted. just really connecting with the muscles. Split squats with a glute focus too, totally. Because like there's so many videos out there too that even sometimes I'll watch and then I'm like, oh, that sounds like that makes sense. But then when I try it in the gym, it doesn't. So I can definitely share what has worked for me on those specific ones. So awesome. Let's definitely grow a little thread on what I should be recording for you guys. All right, so eating with intention. If we're in a deficit phase, we do want to focus for the holidays and stay within a range, maybe enjoy a little bit of flexibility with our goals in mind. But if you are not in a growth phase, holidays are amazing, right? Enjoy those carbs, use them to your advantage. If you're someone who struggles with holiday events because you're tempted to like drink at them and that's something that's not aligning with your goals, a really good habit of mine is to do a workout after your family meal because you're not going to eat until you're like so stuffed and you're just going to put those carbs right to work right away. So doing like an evening workout or a walk, getting moving after family meals can be just a great way to feel a little bit better around them. But don't be avoiding your carbs. Don't be avoiding all the desserts. Plan ahead. Go in with a plan. Go in prepared, eating your meal plan around all the family holidays or just enjoy them and have the flexibility and get some great workouts in and let's grow those muscles. Awesome. What else do we got here? All right. I'd like you all to think about, write down, write to me, drop in the chat what your current goal is. Everybody should know what we're working towards. Is it a fat loss stage? Is it a strength building stage? Are we maintaining and working on mindset and balance? Where are you currently focusing your specific goal? Fat loss. And sometimes these interchange too, right? Like sometimes we can be in a phase where I've put on, a little bit too much weight and I still want to prioritize my muscle growth while I'm losing weight. So sometimes they do kind of cross over, but when fat loss is definitely the main focus, we just want to look at how long we've been focusing on that and how long that has been the goal. And maybe switching it up is going to actually give us those results sooner. Yeah, fat loss. A lot of girls focusing on the goal right now. So a lot of us going into Easter, watching the calories, watching the macros a little bit. If anybody wants to make a plan for the holiday weekend, reach out to me. I just tend to stick to my plan as much as I can and then enjoy the foods around it, without all the craziness. I like to think every day I reset. Even if I overeat at the family dinner the night before, I'm not going into the next day with the mindset that I have to hold back, I have to cut back. Every day is a fresh start, and I'm planning my day. I'm going to think about if I'm going out to eat, if I'm having family dinners, I'm going to work my day around that as much as I can, and just be prepared going into these events and this big holiday weekend coming up. Awesome. Fat loss, overall strength. We're all looking for it. And as we know, when we increase calories, when we increase muscle mass, it does tend to help us lean out and have that fat loss goal because our metabolism is running better. So focusing on the muscle growth hand in hand does end up leading into fat loss goals and results, which is amazing. We just want to watch where those calories are at so that we are supporting that muscle growth and not missing an essential part of it there. We want to eat to fuel for sure. All right. Let's also touch on mindset. We know how important it is. If we're not motivated and feeling it, we're not going to do any of the other things, right? So, a lot of girls kind of tend to try to give up or get hard on themselves before we're really at the stage where we're going to start seeing those results, right? Locking in for a specific amount of time. And that's where it's important for us to think about, am I going to up my calories from now until maybe April, June, whatever that goal is. And then I'm going to go into a fat loss stage for this long because it's way harder to stick to not snacking, not having bites off when that's looking like forever. Like we're never going to have those bites again, right? I can't tell you how many Easters I have got through just thinking those peeps will be back next year. And they were. I ate them this year, but we're still on track. But sometimes we're just giving up because we don't see that progress. We don't see those results and they're so close. So really sticking with the progress, having the mindset and having more clear specific goals that we're really following along with. We can stick to our consistent accountability, all those things because we know what the time limit is. You know when you can get those peeps again, right? We know when we're going to increase calories. a lot of people thinking like maybe, oh, I left it too long. Summer's going to be coming up so soon. I should be further along. I wanted to lose more weight by now. I wanted the scale to move more by now. Just continuing in on what is working when we are consistent, and then actually really reflecting on when it's not working. When we're having a week that we didn't see any progress, we didn't eat well, we didn't make the gym. Let's really look at that and really try to schedule for the next week to just plan for success a bit more. We're not going to continue to have the bad cycle of having a bad week and planning better for Monday, and Monday gets away from us. It's Friday. Everything happened again. Hi, Ange.
Hi.
Your sound's on, so you took over my video. That's okay. I like it. Awesome. Results are really built in the moment where we make the small choices. So I know sometimes it's hard mentally to have the mindset of like, I'm not going to do desserts because I'm in a fat loss stage. I really want to watch my sugar intake. I want to watch, foods that cause inflammation for me. For me, the dessert's not really worth it right now. And then we do it, right? And we give in, and the mindset sort of happens. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I think even stopping midway and having that mindset of like, I'm not going to go back to the kitchen tonight, right? Even when we've done something wrong, like everyone's seen like the jokes of like you spill a little bit of coffee and it's like, well, might as well pour the rest of it out. Absolutely not. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can have one really bad day, you can have one really bad night, whatever it is, the whole week, right? But not having the that's not fitting in my life anymore because we want to look at fitness and healthy habits and healthy eating as part of our life now. It's just as important as the other things, and finding that balance of how that's going to work. It's really going to help you continue with it and get those results that are much longer lasting. That is not like we're looking at resetting every season or having to consistently be in a fat loss stage. Practicing the balance a bit more for sure. Jumping back on track quickly, I think, one of the things that I've picked up when I'm like a nighttime snacker, if I just keep going into the kitchen, something that I've picked up to do is to actually start meal prepping when I'm in there. If I can't stay out of the kitchen at night and I know I'm going to go off plan, I'm going to give myself a task. So I'm going to set up my breakfast for the next day. Maybe I'll make breakfast for the next 3 days because when I have my food prepped, I hate wasting it. So if I'm making those extra steps just to make sure that I'm prepared, it's going to, set me up the next day just to get right back on track and planning your next meals ahead. Even right now, I'm also in a fat loss stage. We're following a meal plan. I'm tracking my macros, and I have one meal off every week. And I'm not tracking it. I'm eating just intuitively, and I'll enjoy a little bit of dessert with it, but I am also, right, watching. So when we get home after that dinner, I still have like a protein shake planned for that night, just because I don't want to get back after having those good foods and feeling that way and being like, oh, I can't have anything else tonight. I went over. So I'm having a really high protein, low calorie snack that I enjoy a lot right after that. And it gets me right back on track right away. Then I'm going to sleep. My body's going to build all the muscle and we're going to wake right back up, on track. So it's not constantly falling off and back on. I would definitely say that the girls who are making really big progress right now, girls who are seeing a lot of results and girls who are really, really happy with the program are girls who are checking in really honestly. So using your virtual check-in, using the calls option, book a call with me every week if you want. If it's a phase that you're changing and you're feeling a little bit unmotivated, let's talk a little bit more then. And let's set a little bit smaller goals and just start picking up those habits. But people who are telling me like, this is where I'm struggling with nighttime eating. I'm not getting 5 workouts in a week. I can't make my steps every day. These are the things that we can really address and work together on to find a solution, and it will make an absolute game changer of your real results. So if something isn't working, make the most of me, right? Let's personalize it. Let's make sure it does work for you. And then those results will come rolling in. So this week, I want everyone to be able to leave with some really clear goals and not like 10 overwhelming goals, because trying to remember all the things we're supposed to be doing is like so much easier said than done. So just for this week, I really want everyone to be clear on what phase you're in right now. Are we in a fat loss stage? And how long are you locking in on that stage? What's the next plan? What does summer look like for you? Is it just totally flexible and you don't care and you're gonna have all the patio drinks and maybe meal prep here and there? Does it look like something more structured with a few meals off? What phase are we in? What phase is summer going to be looking like for you? Let's all schedule two non-negotiables for this week. If you don't have those set, steps, hydration, whatever you need to work on. Eating a high protein breakfast. I hope everybody is like prepping, getting those protein goals in early. Something else that's really important around the holidays is trying to hit that protein goal before we get to dinner. Because like a turkey dinner obviously is going to be some protein there, but let's try to get as close to that 100-gram goal before we even get to dinner. That way we're feeling full and we're already closer to our macros. It's going to help us just be a little bit more controlled there. So having a plan, having a few meals that you can just put on repeat that you know this isn't crazy calories, this is high protein, is hopefully has fiber in it too. That's just like the perfect meal. But having a few simple things that are like your go-to, your Greek yogurt and berries and peanut butter, chicken, rice, and broccoli. Like these are the boring ones. Make some that are really, really good for you. I love my like blended oats mixed with egg whites, making that into a pancake. That's a super quick and easy meal. Um, it can just be really anything you want. Finding that high protein meal, put it on repeat. Make sure it's somewhere that's easy for you to see. Don't like hide it behind the cookies in the cupboard. Have something that is easy, accessible, and you keep seeing it, and try to keep putting those foods on repeat to hit those goals as close as we can. Um, Tracking food. So if you're not tracking at all and you want to be tracking, we have so many options in the app now too that you can use the food journal where you can just type out what you're eating and I can see that and then I can start to help personalize your program and hit those macros a bit better. You can take photos of the food you're eating. And if you haven't synced My Fitness Pal, make sure you've done that. But if you want to do some tracking of your food, it doesn't have to be every single day perfect, but sometimes it's good to just do it one day of tracking to kind of see where you're sitting. Do you need to throw an extra protein shake in? Are your carbs way too high? Is your fats way too high? What's a day look like? Don't go into it with expectations. Just be honest and then make some improvements from there. Or maybe it is just adding in a little bit more foods. I think what a lot of us have really learned is like volume eating and making big salads. And you'll hear me talk a lot about like filling in your Greek yogurt bowls or using a chocolate bar and then filling your foods around it, making volume food with Greek yogurt and berries and making these big meals that are lower calories. That might be a little bit too low if we are someone who's trying to grow muscle. We might need to increase some of the carbs that we're having at some of our repeated meals or bring the fats up or things like that. So if you haven't tracked in a really long time and you have no idea and you're just kind of winging it right now, let's just see what's going on. Send me over your tracking, whatever that looks like, however you want to do that. And we can make a little game plan, even if that's super flexible too. There's always improvements that can be made that are just going to help daily habits. Bedtime routines. This might be a goal for someone this week and non-negotiable. People who aren't sleeping very well. Let's work on that. Continue to work on that. I have been taking magnesium. Obviously, I hope everyone's taking magnesium. I have been taking 5-HTP before bed as well, and I've felt really big improvements with that. That's another supplement just to help sleep recovery. I'm also taking ashwagandha. I was off it for a while and I started it back in, and I'm recovering really well from my workouts trying to reduce the stress, right? But having a good nighttime supplement stack and routine. So whether that looks like a hot bath for you, some journaling, some reading, just really actually bringing it all down at night and getting that proper rest because our muscles grow when we're sleeping. We want to sleep well. Also, hand in hand with sleeping and recovery is just doing actual mindful, restful activities that are just going to help lower that cortisol. I'm always going to talk about it a little bit, but lately I've been really liking just 10 minutes of lying with my legs up the wall. If you haven't looked into dry brushing, lymphatic massage, it's something that's interesting to me right now. I do a lot of lymphatic massage right before a show when I'm really, really lean. It helps move water through your body, but there's so many more benefits. And I've been doing dry brushing at home. And personally, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of results with like cellulite, skin improvement, all the good things we're looking for. So I've been doing a dry brush, taking like a hot shower, lying with my legs up the wall, doing some stretching. It's just such a good routine. If we can pick little habits up, it sounds like it takes 4 hours. It doesn't. Starting to just wind down for bed, doing these things that make us feel very calm, getting away from our phone, getting away from like all the time, stress, 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 right? So if you're not journaling and you need some journal prompts, feel free to message me. You have some in your on demand in the app as well. Anybody have any good like journaling or like websites or podcasts or anything that they just like to unwind to? Please like share that because everyone's always asking. I'm always recommended the Balance app. I really like that one.
There's a sleep app called Rise
Oh yeah,
where it like measures your quote unquote sleep debt. So it tells you how many hours you need a night, and then it'll track your sleep to see like if you caught up. And it's like you stay within a certain, like every adult, it's different for everybody, but like they say as long as you stay under like this amount, you'll be like well rested.
amazing. Cool. I'll check that out. Rise.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. I do like to track my sleep. Sometimes there's a couple apps out there, and like some of you have watches and stuff, and I think it's just as important. If your body is telling you that you are super, super tired, it is just part of learning our bodies and like our cycles and our seasons and our moods and everything. But sometimes when we're like, I'm just so tired, just choose the rest over the workout. And I think, like I'll say, don't skip 2 days in a row, right? Like if you have to move a workout to the weekend because you feel tired on a Monday or a Tuesday, I think that's overall going to be more beneficial because the less stress we can add, the more you can enjoy your workouts and make it something that's like, oh, I like going on a Saturday, I like going on a Sunday, or I like just going 4 times a week or whatever the solution is for you. Decreasing that stress is just going to help overall. And if you are struggling with sleep, reach out, try something new. It'll make an absolute change in your life. Maybe going to bed a little bit earlier for some people too. I'm trying to work out in the morning. I can't. I'm trying. My morning girls, I always wake up to you. I love it. I love it. You motivate me, and I'm gonna try this week. Let's not forget about food before and after our workouts. Before your workout, you want to focus on carbs. We want to do things like rice cakes. We want to do bananas, oats, some Greek yogurt, berries, even a Rice Krispie square. Like this is where we want to have kind of more some fun foods that we might have avoided in other times because it's going to instantly give us energy, right? And we want to use up all the glycogen in our muscles. We want to pump it out in the gym. And then after the workout, within an hour after your workout, we want to try to have 30 grams of protein. So lots of people grab protein shake, but if you're working out and it's morning, we might want to look at doing the carbs from your breakfast before and then doing the rest of your protein and fats and veg maybe after or something like that. If you're having it right before, then your body might still be metabolizing it right after. So it really depends on when you feel your best to work out. But if you're currently just not having anything before your workout, let's try to add a little fast acting carb in there and really start to push ourselves and see that energy go up. I have a ton of you who will ask about pre-workout, coffee, caffeine. We all know we want to reduce caffeine overall, really, because it's stressing us out, right? It's bringing us up, it's making us all jittery, it's raising the cortisol. So the more we can bring caffeine down, the better. But like, no, thank you. So sometimes in the afternoon, instead of going for a coffee right away, I'll try to prioritize like an electrolyte or just a big glass of water with a fast carb. And like instantly I can feel like I better than a coffee. So just using your energy in a more productive way, just planning the carbs in your day before the workout, making sure we're hitting that protein after is really going to help to emphasize that muscle growth for sure. Yeah, put our food to good use. So again, that's why I mentioned working out after Easter dinner. Some of you are probably like, absolutely not. But it was a very good way for me to stay away from wine on Easter dinner too, because I'm not going to the gym tipsy. Um, Awesome. Increasing weights on leg day. If you're someone who's at the gym, let's really push it. If everything's feeling good and you're a few weeks into your program and everything's feeling good, I want to see some PRs. I want to see how heavy you girls are lifting. And I love when you share it too. Like, let's show it off because some of you girls are getting heavy squats, heavy leg presses, push those Bulgarian split squats. Like I can do a 50-pound Bulgarian split squat. So I'm going to challenge you guys. Post it. Let me see it. Let's try to increase on the exercises that we're really comfortable in, especially those safe ones. It's like hip thrusts. Like you're not going to get stuck in the hip thrust machine. You're not going to injure yourself for the most part. We feel pretty safe there. You should feel pretty safe with a barbell as well, or your Smith machine, whatever you're hip thrusting with. Let's start really loading those weights up. And even if you're like pushing yourself to a point where you're getting like 5 to 8 reps, that can be massive for glute growth. Stay there for a couple weeks, and then we can reduce the weight back down, bring the reps back up, and we'll see changes that way. So if you've been stuck at some weights for a while, let's really try to push those as long as the form's feeling good. And just obviously still being cautious with things like squats, making sure we're putting in safety racks or having a spotter. But, hamstring curl, leg extension. If I see some light weights on these, I would be like turning them right up. Let's really push those muscles and focus on building the most muscle that you can, especially in those leggies. Check-ins, progress photos. Do you feel attacked? Have you uploaded progress photos? Upload the progress photos. No matter what stage we're in, we should be seeing some type of result. What are we working towards here, right? If it's overall balance and we're just avoiding progress photos, then making sure you're filling your virtual check-in so that I can see emotionally how we're doing and how you're feeling. But if you are somebody who's training, let's work on progress photos, not only to see if we're losing weight or gaining weight or growing muscle, but I'm picking up on a lot of things in progress photos that can really benefit your training. So I've had a lot of people who are sending their progress photos, and I can see their feet are standing on a side every week. So we're having some sort of alignment somewhere between the ankle and the knee and the hip coming up. And that might be a massive solution to things that you're not feeling, like lunges or growth in one side of your glute. So just by seeing photos of you girls and seeing how you're standing, I'm going to see if your shoulders are rolling forward. We can work on that core engagement. Just really getting to know your body more and working on things like posture, just those basic things that you have from seeing somebody else, right? I'm sure lots of you have seen people at the gym that you just want to go and fix their form, right? So really making sure that we're using our body in the most, best way, just standing, but then walking and then into the gym that way. And that'll make a huge difference. Progress photos are just a great way to stay accountable as well. If you are like, throwing away all of your progress on the weekends, if you can do really great Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday come and you're like, that's what did it. I went way, way over and I really wanted not to this week. Book your photo for Sunday night, Monday morning, right? Stay accountable that way. And if you don't want to do your progress photos, let's do some measuring. Let's do some sort of way to track what's happening in our body and make sure that we're aligning with our goals. Yes, I think that's everything that I had. Oh, and I just had hit your workouts, make your workouts. Some of you don't make all 5 workouts in a week, so a lot of you just like to pick which one you're gonna miss, and that's totally fine too. If you have outlying like tasks sitting in your app, if it says like upload a progress photo that's old, just message me so I can get rid of that. But I can also take out any workouts that you don't want to do, and we can personalize it to just 3 or 4 days if that's what you're making too. So we have options there, just making sure that we're enjoying the workouts, enjoying the program. If we're not getting to the gym and we're not doing it, then it's not working. So at home, any type of movement, stretching, core focused, whatever that is, let's make sure that's working for both of us. Yeah. That's me. If you're struggling, message me. If you are absolutely killing it and you're seeing progress, share it with us because it motivates us. We want to see each other doing well. We want to be like, I can do that too. How'd you do that? If you girls have tips, if you have something that's been working really well for you lately, please share it with the group. I try to share everything I can with you guys. And so many of you are working along similar goals with similar struggles and all the kids and family and work that we have going on. So please make sure to use the group that way and build up the community and reach out to each other and share all the things that are happening with you guys with us. We definitely want to hear about it. If you need any adjustments, just reach out. And if motivation starts to disappear, please book that check-in photo. You will not check-in photo, check-in call. You will not regret just having a call about what's going on. And even if that means that we plan some time off instead of just ghosting, sticking to a plan. Perfect. Well, thank you all for staying on. If anybody wants to chat and go through some questions that I had, feel free to hop on. If anyone has to go, please. Thank you so much. Please share your goals from tonight. Let's think of the two non-negotiables and let's really clarify what phase we're in. How's it going, Lacey? Are you hopping off there?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Oh,
I do have a
I was
question,
just
but
gonna
I'll
see how you